Good morning and welcome to the Indian Insider, your go-to source for all things MHS all the time.
Today we have an exciting lineup of stories from all around MHS, including a visit with some tribe officers working on a fundraiser for students in need, highlights of a sophomore soccer sensation, and an in-depth look at some of the new safety rules being implemented next school year.
That's right, Manhattan High School will launch a new anti-bullying program at the start of next school year to make the Old Vegas program more suitable for high schoolers. Not a whole lot of information has been released to students about the new program, but teachers will begin training sometime in August. Counselor Aaron Spreer said that the program was given through the Safe and Supportive Grant that MHS received.
We'll continue to follow along as people here at MHS attempt to make a change about bullying. On a separate note, the MHS Culinary Team took a trip to a local restaurant, Four Olives, in hopes to obtain some new knowledge about the culinary world.
The Manhattan High School Culinary Team recently traveled to Four Olives to gain more experience prepping and cooking food in a restaurant-style setting. While there, the students were supervised and provided aid by current chefs who helped the team build upon their performance throughout the season.
We've been mentoring the team for the Pro Star competition, and I thought they did a really good job. And in the past, that sort of, to some extent, goes unrewarded.
Team members prepared the meal that they created to compete at the state level competition, where they received 4th place.
It's a good experience as a teacher to deal with each team and to help each team, because it gives me an opportunity to get to know students on a whole nother level other than just being in class.
Well, what we need to do is get the new sanitizer buckets. The buckets are underneath the...
Students and faculty agree the team offers a new opportunity to develop skills and technique as culinary artists while getting the chance to encounter others with a shared interest.
As we kept practicing, we kind of got what we were doing, and we kind of got the hang of everything, and we just started memorizing each other's steps so we didn't run into each other, and everybody got comfortable.
Next year, the team looks to continue practicing and to become more prepared for each of their competitions.
On the topic of cooking, let's check out this week's lunch menu.
Don't you think the weather we've been experiencing lately has been a little strange? How have we gone from a high of 72 on Tuesday to a low of 32 on Wednesday morning, according to the MHS weather station? In Kansas, we are used to odd changes in weather, but nothing like this. The weird weather has canceled many school activities this past week, such as a baseball game and a track meet at Shawnee. If you are wondering about the forecast, check out the MHS station at weatherlink.com /user/MHS weather for the later weather info.
In other news, the MHS blood drive took off on April 1st and has been successful thus far.
That's right. Last week, 73 Manhattan High students took part in the year's 2nd Student Council blood drive, pairing with the Red Cross. Stuco and other volunteers were able to receive 62 successful donations, despite people's busy schedules. One of the organizers, Stuco member Hannah Nelson, wanted to make sure that the Red Cross and Stuco members worked cohesively to get students out in a timely manner. Of those donors, 30 of them donated for the very first time.
Blood donors are not the only students showing concern for others. The Student Help Student program, headed by the tribe officers and Mr. Nybert, have been doing this much the same.
While most students spend their lunchtime relaxing and catching a break from their classes, the MHS tribe officers are busy at work, raising money for the students, helping students fundraiser.
We had someone come to Mrs. Nyberg telling us that during our winter homecoming ceremonies, a girl didn't want to participate because she couldn't afford to get a dress.
With good intentions in mind, the tribe officers are using their lunchtime to motivate other students to donate to the fund.
At both lunches, we are sitting at a table, and every dollar someone donates goes to the fund. And then at the end of the month, we'll have a drawing, and the people can have a chance to win a $100 gift card paid for by Tribe.
Tribe sponsor Randy Nybert is in charge of motivating the officers to continue with the fundraisers. And when all is said and done, there is no reason to believe they won't go well beyond their intended goal and the amount they raise for this event.
I think we're above my expectations. We're well over several $100s. They spend every lunch hour up here now. They have for almost 2 weeks, and will continue throughout the month to do this.
At MHS East Campus, students have been given the opportunity to enroll in one of the only hunter safety classes offered in the state of Kansas.
Bam! Using bows and arrows in class is a rare sight. However, for some MHS students, it's an everyday experience. Manhattan High has the privilege of being one of the only schools in Kansas to have a hunter safety class. According to instructor Robert Harper, the class can prove to be beneficial in future circumstances.
I teach these guys in here how to get along, how to respect other people's differences. They also learn how to be safe shooting a bow, but they also learn the Kansas hunter safety rules, which also is a firearm.
Students have many reasons for their interest in the class. Some are amateurs, while others are more experienced. In either case, the class finds a place for each.
I love being outdoors and hunting and fishing and all that. It's always been exciting to me.
While the universal rule, safety first, is clearly the most essential aspect of this class, having fun is important too. Not only do the students enjoy what they're doing, their teacher does as well.
Of course.
Oh no.
Why would I teach you? If I didn't like what I was doing, I'd be selling used cars right now.
Turning to sports, Molly Fisher has made a name for herself at MHS. The sophomore plays goalie for the Lady Indians soccer team, which has a record of 4-2 so far this season. Here is her story.
The MHS girls varsity soccer team has got off to a great start to the season. Other than losing to Washburn Rural on April 4th and to Blue Valley Stillwell on April 6th, the MHS girls varsity soccer team has won all other 4 games they have played this season, and they have not allowed a single goal in all of their victories. Reasons MHS has gotten off to such a hard start to the season is due to sophomore goalie Molly Fisher's play. Fisher replaces Krista Thompson from last year's varsity team. Thompson was injured during a basketball season and had surgery before soccer season. Thompson is unfortunately out for the season, but Fisher has proven more than capable of replacing Thompson before.
Following in the footsteps of Kristen was definitely difficult because so many people liked her and she was an amazing player, but it feels good to be able to step up for her.
Before their 2 losses, Fisher had not given up a goal in the first 4 games they played. But it's not just Fisher stepping up. Many of the underclassmen are contributing in a big way to the MHS varsity team.
It's great when you're dealing with younger classmen because they haven't developed, the bad habits or the bad attitudes yet. They just do what they're told and without really questioning.
Try to get back on the winning streak. The game today against Emporia at MHS.
The Lady Indian soccer team looked to put a stop to a 2-game skid Friday night against the Seaman Vikings.
Baseball is another sport gaining the interest of the students this year. On April 5th, the Manhattan High Indians faced off against the Hayden Wildcats. Hayden won the first game 13-12, but in the second game, the Indians won 5-4, splitting the series with the Wildcats. The first game was an offensive show put on by both teams. The Indians had 17 hits, as each player in the lineup got at least 1. The Wildcats had 10 hits, but somehow managed to keep pace with the Indians. In the first game, the Indians put junior Jacob Biller on the mound to start, but he was replaced after 1 inning by junior Chris Cook. Henry DeNoble was brought in later in the game to close for the Indians. The Indians' second game, sophomore Jesse Steinberg was on the mound to start. Steinberg, the only sophomore on the varsity team, allowed only 4 runs to Hayden in 5 innings. The Indians scored 5 runs to outlast Hayden and split the series. After 5 innings, the game was called due to lack of stadium lighting. As of April 5th, the MHS Indians have a 3-1 record on the year. The Tuesday, April 9th game at Topeka was postponed due to bad weather. The next game was on Friday, April 12th against Shawnee Heights at home.
The Manhattan High Science Olympiad team competed at state April 6th, placing second of 30 teams competing there. 15 Manhattan High students traveled to Wichita with sponsors Pat Lamb and Dick Nelson. The students gave up many Saturdays in an effort to prepare for state. They spent time practicing for the many categories the students competed in. All their hard work paid off, as many of the students placed well in their categories, and the team moved up from 3rd place last year to 2nd place this year.
Well, that's it for this edition of the Indiana Insider. I'm Blake.
And I'm Jake. Thanks for watching.